What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining me here on the LTC Bowling Show. Tonight, we're going to do something a little bit different. Tonight, we're going to read we're going to try to basically create an audiobook. Now, I know there's a lot of you driving, traveling, or people who just simply want to listen to things rather than actually have to read yourself. I know reading puts me to sleep, and sometimes listening to things puts me to sleep too. So maybe that's what you want this for. Who knows? If you're watching on YouTube, this isn't going to be that great as far as a visual thing, but being able to listen here as well will be good. As you can see on the screen, we have the book that we're going to read up there. It's Bowling Psychology. Now, a lot of people don't have this book, and many do, but you have the ability to get yours. You might even be able to get it at bowlerx.com. I'd go take a look. I'm pretty sure it is available over there. So go take a look. You can get this book over there. But we're going to read the first chapter, and actually, we're just because each chapter is pretty long, and I don't want the podcast to get too long. I want to break this up a little bit, but we're going to do the first 5 pages, or at least up until we get to setting a clear vision. Chapter 1 is goal setting and self-assessment. Now, bear with me here. I'm not the greatest of reading. I may have to correct myself in areas, so it's not going to be like an actual audio book where they don't screw up at all and they just kind of read right through it perfectly. I don't know how they do that. That has to take time after time to be able to get it done right. But all right, here we go. Chapter 1. This book is called Bowling Psychology, A Guide to Mental Mastery of the Lanes by Dr. Dean Hinitz, PhD. And it's forwarded by Jason Belmonte. And we're going to skip the forward. We're just going to go straight to chapter 1. Chapter 1, Goal Setting and Self-Assessment. The game is made of ups and downs, but you can never lose focus of your individual goals, and you can't let yourself be beat because of lack of effort. Quote by Michael Jordan, 6-time NBA champion. Tell me what you want. Then let me follow you around for 3 days, and I'll tell you whether or not you're likely to get it. In fact, I will invite you into the bleacher seats with me to watch yourself in action, and we can reflect together on what works and what doesn't. Your words, your habits, and your commitments will provide all the clues we need. It has been said that knowledge is power. But if knowledge were enough, we would all be physically fit and financially rich, and we would all bowl with amazing skill and proficiency. The truth is, knowledge is not enough. Nearly everyone knows that to lose weight, you must eat more lettuce and fewer candy bars. Very few people who make New Year's resolutions to get in shape are confused about exercise and nutrition. We all know that you must exercise at least a little to get fit, that you must study to get decent education. To get a decent education is also well accepted. Yet candy bar sales remain through the roof. Most New Year's resolutions end up in the trash can. Video games are a gravitational pull away from studying, and the idea of really doing what it takes to be a champion remains a fantasy for many talented athletes. Bowlers around the world express distress that they are not getting better, competing better, or scoring better. Page 2. The question is, with all that education and tools available to us, why are we not all thin, all happy, and rich, and making all of our spares? We know the success of self-improvement programs of any kind generally hover around 2 to 5%. And in actuality, those 2 to 5% of people who lose weight, get fit, improve their grades, and rigorously practice their bowling are those who are going to be better at things anyway. They are just smart and motivated enough to find a vehicle for success that makes it easier on them. By reading this book, you have chosen to educate yourself and be among the small percentage of those who succeed. But education, of course, is seldom enough to become great at anything. In this chapter, we are going to look at what greatness takes, greatness in anything. If you want to have success in life, to achieve your goals, you must do what successful people do. Let's now look at what they do and how they do it. 9 secrets of goal attainment. It's what you learn after you know it. Okay. It's what you learn after you know it all that counts. John Wooden, head basketball coach of UCLA, 1948 to 1975. Read through the 9 principles that follow and decide which ones you can plug into. If you've already heard some of these secrets, bear with us. These pearls of wisdom deserve the repetition they receive. Learning or reviewing these 9 secrets will put you in perfect position to set your own goals. Number 1, You must do more than you think. One of the problems with bowling is that once you understand the fundamentals of the game, you can bowl pretty well, maybe even very well, without practicing much. It's no secret that forgiving oil patterns can make players look great, as can just the right ball matched with the soft paint line patterns. The truth is that if you examine the habits of most bowlers, they are doing far less than they could to excel. Very few attend to the diet, stretching, and exercise patterns that most athletes acknowledge are necessary to reach their full potential. The good news and the bad news for bowlers is that our sport can be performed, sometimes at a very high level, without being athletically fit. Sure, arguments can be made about the many champions who clearly don't maintain ideal fitness levels or even have good practice habits, yet the counter argument is twofold. First, we'll never know what these players might have accomplished if they had the discipline to trim themselves into top form. Second, though a few bowlers might claim they practice and receive coaching the way that champions should, most would not claim that they are doing all they need to do to be the bowler they want to be. The truth is that what you do every day determines whether or not you are a champion far better than the number of titles you have. Being a champion is just that, a way of being. Number 2, simply rolling balls does not make you better or even get you in bowling condition. Some bowlers believe the more they bowl, the better they will get. This might sound reasonable, but sometimes the opposite is true. Try this. Ask a bowler to roll 5 of her very best shots while you shoot video. Then, without telling them, also video 5 shots from the middle of their standard practice. When you watch these videos, you'll nearly always see a clear distinction in physical form and apparent concentration. This has several implications. Most bowlers are at least a little lazy. They might not put maximum effort into every approach, such as the knee bend on the slide. Thus, the bowler is not working the muscles involved in bowling to the utmost effect. Similarly, the mental game associated with focus, concentration, risk, and effort is being exercised at less than 100%. The result? The bowler ends up less the bowler than they should be. Because she or he has not practiced properly, the level of intensity, focus, of pressure during a competition might feel unfamiliar to him or her. If they had engaged in deep practice, which we will soon discuss, the competition would seem routine and their confidence would be brimming. Number 3, you do have time to read, train, and practice. Yes, you have time to practice. You have time to do anything you want to do. You check emails, watch more TV than you would believe, explore the internet, and shop for clothes. You can see exactly what people are committed to by simply watching what they do. When you are dating, you might neglect sleep, skip TV, even miss meals if it means being with the person you want to be with. If you want a good grade in a course, you will lose sleep to study for finals. If getting better at bowling is a priority for you, you will show this in your reading, practice habits, and coachability. Number 4, overtraining your A game will not lead you to mastery in bowling. Many players are like fighters who have a favorite punch. Their jab wins them a lot of fights, so they practice the jab, have fun sparring with the jab, and fight with the jab. And if they do, in fact, have a good jab, they will sometimes win with the jab until the jab doesn't work on a particular opponent. It is really great. It's a really great feeling to execute your favorite shot on your favorite line with your favorite ball. In fact, it can feel so good you can become a one-trick pony who can really score when the lanes are just right. But true mastery goes far beyond this. Mastery is the physical, mental, and emotional ability to adapt, adjust, and score in a wide variety of circumstances and conditions. The bowling masters are those who become the true legends of the game. Number 5, practice in equals performance. Practice in equals performance out, not always. If you take proper care in painting a wall, you might be surprised how well you accomplish the task. But if you have painted the wrong wall, it doesn't matter how well you stroke the brush. Page 4. Practice in and of itself means nothing. You can work on your release, your step cadence, your swing plane, or your thought patterns, But if you think you're doing the right thing while you're really doing something wrong, you'll only get really good at bad bowling. Periodic positive results do not mean that you are practicing properly. As they say in school, have someone check your work. For example, a coach. Hint, hint, give me a call, people. Number 6, in hard conditions, the lanes are not working against you. Sport conditions, burned conditions, and designer patterns are not out to get you. They are simply life asking whether you can execute the informal marine motto: improvise, adapt, and overcome. Bowling is an IQ test. The lanes ask, can you solve me? Do you get it? There is no agenda to make you fail. There is nothing less personal than a lane condition. Look, look at it like the best of you is being called forth, not plotted against. Don't sweat a thing. Just do your best. Woo, door. Just do your best to make it your mission to be able to play anything. Number 7, your bowling environment is working for you. If you watch a basketball game at any level, you'll see opposing fans and waving signs and balloons during free throws. Oddly enough, players become very proficient at seeing their way through the tunnel of noise and movement to focus on their shots. The truth is, if you really want to disrupt a player's shot, you should try for absolute silence. The silence highlights the strangeness of the situation, signaling the brain that something is off. We see the same thing in bowling. You throw a string of strikes in a row, and suddenly things get quieter. Often, some part of you becomes aware that everyone is treating you differently. That highlights that things really are different. Something inside tightens, and shazam, it changes. The noise, the movement, the rudeness, the laughs, the distractions, all the work in your favor. Anything that creates any kind of noise provides a tunnel for your vision. Then you should expect it to get quiet as you play better. The more normal that all aspects of your environment seem, the better you'll be able to focus and concentrate. Make it your mission to feel you can handle virtually anything that occurs while you're bowling. Number 8, many or maybe you don't need to rev it up or hook the ball more. Everyone says straighter is greater, but do you really believe it? The problem is the straighter never makes anyone gasp. No one ever remarks admiringly about how straight someone can roll the ball. No one ever asks how few boards someone crosses on the way to striking. At a clinic in Dallas, here, where I worked with PBA star Norm Duke, Norm shot a 10-pin spare by rolling the ball right up the one board, bringing his hand up the back of his strike ball. Norm also showed all kinds of mastery of hand positions, ball speeds, and the ability to strike at all angles. Yet at the end of the workshop, when students asked questions and gave feedback, they remarked most about that one particular feat of crawling the ball up the one board. For these students, this was the most impressive demonstration of all the skills this great champion demonstrated. The truth is that you might not need to get more action on the ball. From the vast array of physical and mental elements to choose from, you must decide what is most needed in your game. It is entirely possible that more revolutions is not the magic key to wrinkling or to wringing the most out of your body, your game, and your results. You must ask and sincerely answer what is needed in your game. You might not need to get more on the ball, but you might still need to add leverage, power, and consistency. You might need simply to be more accurate. You get to decide which element to put on your list of goals. Last, number 9. This is not a training diet. This is your life. We've already recognized the lack of effectiveness of diets. The same is true for bowling tips, secrets, and the latest advice. Do the suggestions really work? Yes, almost without question. And just about anyone can incorporate them. But there's the rub. Most athletes do what feels good. Only true champions do what works. So you can behave like one of those amazing 2 to 5% of top tier athletes, or choose not to. The truth is, we're discussing a way to approach not only bowling, but everything else as well. If you hang out with any bowler through 3 practices and maybe 1 competition, you can pretty much learn all you need to know about his personality, commitment to the game, and potential for improvement. This approach is not a diet. It is an approach for virtually everything you do. Set some training commitments, improvement goals, and competition outcome marks, then track what you actually follow through on. Likely, your adherence to your resolutions will resemble the way you have treated school, business, and even relationship commitments. Give your word on what you will do. Keep your word, see how things turn out, and I think you'll be happy with the results. So those are the first 5 pages. Those are what we're going to go through right here, and that's it. Then tomorrow we will go through the next few pages, probably the rest of this first chapter, starting at setting a clear vision. It says, understanding people have one thing in common, an absolute sense of mission. That's by Zig Ziglar, inspirational speaker. So that is this book right here. Obviously, I have that same copy here. Make sure to head over to bowlerx.com and get yours today. Otherwise, I'm going to be reading this for the next few days, and you can follow along with me for those of you who want to just kind of follow along and listen to the book rather than try to read it yourself. This is a perfect option for you. So appreciate everybody coming out tonight. Make sure to tune in again tomorrow. If you're not already a follower of this podcast, make sure to follow, all on Anchor, Spotify, as well as Apple and Android. Make sure if you're on YouTube watching this, please be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, as these will obviously be coming out daily. So that's all I got for you today. If you want, please, those of you who are on Anchor, support the channel. It makes this much easier for me to be able to do if I can see that it's actually worth it, other than just kind of giving away free advice and all that. Definitely will inspire me to do a lot more of this type of stuff. So if you like my work and you like the things that I do, please be sure to head over there and support the channel in any way you can. So until next time, guys, we're out of here. We will see you for the next show, probably going to be tomorrow morning and then again in the afternoon. Take care.